It's part two. Oh my god, when your videos are so interesting, yes, you better fucking enjoy this stupid listening to his wife so can, because once I'm king, I'm gonna take off the throne with my wife. And when Star Tech Scotch is coming, I'm gonna hire my four script developers, my two script developers, and my 7 team, and I'm gonna start that Scotch's company. I'll see. I'm not kidding around. I'm going back to my two script developers because I'm gonna tell John Favreau, look, man, because I paid you your $30 million bonus, unheard amount of money. You got like almost $20 million in your bank, $18.5 million in your bank, whatever it is. Obviously, and I paid Dave Filoni his $14 million sign bonus, and I paid Ryan Johnson his $17 million sign bonus, and JJ Abrams his like $37 bonus, and the Richard Sire. I expect you to work hard. I'm gonna put you to fucking work, man. You're gonna have to look at hundreds of reels, and you're gonna have to make a lot of business calls. Same time, you're gonna have to help me write the script, because I don't pay you a lot of money for nothing, obviously. You're gonna help me with the concept arts too. Honestly. So, but because I paid John Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Ryan Johnson a lot of money, they won't mind doing that dirty work because, yeah, even though we're doing the dirty work, Ivan paid us unheard money. Yes, I pay you unheard money. I paid you your fat signing bonus. Obviously, multi-million check in the bank. You buy your nice $4 million house, $7, $8 million house. You know what I'm saying? Your nice Ferrari, your nice Lambo. I pay you a lot of money. Obviously, you can go and get nice clothes for those nice suits. You know what I'm saying? On your spare time, you can go out to all these nice, take your girlfriend or wife to a nice restaurant, your family to a nice restaurant. You're living the fucking dream celeb life, and you're getting spoiled with my buffet, being flown on my private jet for the world tour, all that stuff. I expect you to work fucking hard, man. I'm not, and they will work hard for me. Look, man, I don't want you. If you think for 1 second I'm gonna pay this money and have you slack, I've got nothing coming. There's a high chance I might have John Favreau and Dave Filoni sign a lot of the contracts to the second year too. And that way me and Vijay can focus more on our creative, obviously. And then what? And then what? And then after they sign a contract, me and Vijay will meet up with them and we take them out, obviously. I want to be a part of all the takeouts with the crewmen and actors. But there's a high chance I'll have John Favreau and Dave Filoni take the load off me and Vijay. We can have them sign a lot of the contracts the second year. You're looking at like 1,500 people, man. Hey, look, man, take the load off me and VJ, sign the cinematographers. Don't pay the cinematographer, pay all the main guys $2 million, and pay everyone else a nice, like, the assistant cinematographers a nice, like, $7,000. Because cinematographers are important. You gotta pay them good money, obviously. The special effects team, pay all the assistants $7,000 and pay the main guys like $2 million. The main, like, 3 million guys, 5 guys, $2 million. And everyone else in the crew, you pay them their flat $150,000. And you pay the supervisors $200,000. Don't go any higher than like $270,000 for the supervisors. That's enough. Obviously, that's enough. Obviously, and I'm gonna tell John Favreau, look, man. When you sign on the crewman, ask them what deal works best for them. Do you prefer to get $100,000 the third year and get your smaller salary the fourth year, or do you want to get a smaller salary the third year and get your nice $100,000 the fourth year? High chance they're gonna pick. I'd rather get because the crewmen are going to be the most hard at work the third year because they're going to be prepping in Switzerland. The only people who are going to be really, really hard at work the fourth year are like the cinematographers, the assistants who work around the set, obviously. The cinematographers, obviously. The people who what? The sound department, right? The people who, because you also have the speakers. Those guys are going to be hard at work filming, obviously. Hence why what? Yeah. Okay, Dave, ask this crewman what deal works best for them. Do you want to get $100,000 for the third year when you're preparing in Switzerland? The crewmen are going to be hard at work the third year preparing, obviously, and you want to get your small, because the fourth year production, not much. A lot of the crewmen are going to be watching. The crewmen are going to be hard at work, obviously, but they won't be. Everything's already prepared, and they won't be doing that much work. You know what I'm saying? High chance the crewmen are gonna prefer to get paid their $100,000 the third year. Because the third year is where the crewmen are going to be hard at work. The construction crewmen, you know what I'm saying? All the crewmen are all hard at work preparing everything. Pay them a nice $100,000, and then you pay them the $3,000 separate. Again, I already talked about this in my last video. I'm going to tell John Favreau and Dave Filoni the payment structure for my company for the crewmen. And yeah, okay, do not pay the crewmen any more than $150,000. Otherwise, they're going to affect the budget, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And don't pay the supervisors any more than like $207,000. Pay most of the supervisors like $200,000, $220,000, $250,000. That way, because you got to watch for your budget, obviously. And the assistants, you don't pay them any more than $150,000. If they ask for 160, 170, they're ripping you off. As $150,000 is good enough, as they're never going to make this in Hollywood. The only people you pay a bit more than $150,000 are like the cinematographers. The assistant cinematographers, you pay those guys like $100 because they're going to be hard at work. Your cinematographers are the key to, are the foundation. They're the people filming your movie. Pay those guys a bit more money, and your special effects people, you got to pay good money. The special effects is the foundation for your movie. Cinematography and special effects is like the foundation for your movie. Very important. Hence why you pay those guys a bit more. Pay the assistants like $170,000, and you pay the what? The main guy's a nice, rich $2 million for what? A nice, rich $2 million. I can even pay them not all $2 million for the greatest movie. I'll pay them like $1.5 million because it's not as much work. Pay the cinematographers like 1.5, and you can pay the other guys like 1.5 because it's not as much work. Because you got to watch it for your budget, man. My 17 is really affecting my budget. It costs me on average like $45 million per movie around there. Xanax, they're costing me like $50 million for their yearly salary. Obviously. Hence why I have to pay Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni or Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams their bonus out of me and VJ's play. Hey, VJ, we have to pay them their bonus out of our pocket. Out of our pocket, obviously. Hence why nobody's worth our rollies. As I told you, me and VJ are going to go like putting in like $1.1 billion towards Xanax. If you're including Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's bonus and Peter Jackson's rich salary, you're looking at what? Like $1.1 million. Hence why none of those guys are getting a piece of me. We just roll these. Look, we're the one paying you. You're paying the fucking bills. We invested unheard of money into the movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to make our. We'll make our money back. Obviously, we have the keys. Obviously, we need to reap a good return, a good return in our investment. Obviously, I told you, me and Reed are gonna make probably about $4 billion off Xanax, $3 to $4 billion off Xanax. Hence, if we make $4 billion, me and VJ, if we make $3 billion. Me and VJ made a nice $2 million in profit for ourselves, which is nice. You see what I'm saying here? We made $3.4 billion off the movie and posters. Me and VJ made a nice $2.4 billion in profit. And it's a good investment, obviously. We need to make our money back, obviously. We have bills to pay, obviously. I told you, because guys like J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson are what? Are Rian Johnson and Dave Filoni, because those guys are not as big as the other guys, they might try and push for more money. Rian Johnson might try and maybe push for $20 million, which I'm not paying him. And Dave Filoni might try and push for maybe $16, $17 million. Look, man, $14 million is good enough, because you're never going to make this in Hollywood. You're only worth a couple $1 million. I'm paying you a $14 million bonus. That's nice. You're walking away with, that's $9 billion. That's $9 million in your bank, pretty much. 8.59 billion in your bank, $14 million before you start work. It's a nice deal, and you get your rich $2 million salary. You get your bonus after filming, your $2,000 after filming. You get your $2,000 for all the releases. You get your retirement package. I'm giving you and you get your $100,000 raise for your yearly salary. And so I'm giving you a good deal. If you don't like my offer, go back to Hollywood and go back to being a dirty slave, obviously. But going back, because Jon Favreau and J.J. Abrams are really big, high chance that those guys are going to try to even get like 0.2%, 0.3% of the profits. And look, man, I'm not giving you 0.2%, 0.3% of the profits. What I'm paying you is good enough. If you don't like it, go back to working in Mandalorian. Even though Mandalorian is an amazing show, obviously. Go back to being a dirty slave, working on a Mandalorian show and eating that shittier food and not getting spoiled the way Ivan spoils you, obviously. As for Mandalorians, Jon Favreau will not get spoiled. Jon Favreau and do not get spoiled for their tours, like the way I'm spoiling them. Obviously. For all my world tours, as I told you, there's a high chance me and Weezer will be going. My seconds are going to get those calls. Me and my wife and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni or Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams and the head of production, the actors and the director, we're going to go on that world tour. Like 2-month, 3-month world tour. Imagine us visiting, I don't know, a couple cities for every province in Canada, all over Canada, and going all over America and all these states. You're looking like a 2-3 month tour, man. Yeah, man, something crazy. And your expenses are all paid for, and you guys are all flown on my private jet, man. You're flying my private jet, and your expenses for your hotel stay and your feeding is paid for. Obviously. But I'm going to be very strict. Look, man, if we go on this world tour, John and Dave, or J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, don't book any high. You can book a nice room for yourself. I don't mind you booking a really nice room for yourself and the actors, but don't go any higher than 4,000. Anything over 4,000, if you book like a 6,000 room, I'll be very pissed off. Listen to me. Even though you're the boss of the company, John, I'm saying, Dave, listen to me. I'm the boss over you. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you my business card. Do not book do not book a hotel any higher than $4,000 for you and the actors. So book a nice top-notch hotel with a pool, nice ass rooms, nice ass showers. I'm saying, obviously, but like don't go any higher than $4,000 for you and the actors, which is good enough. And don't go any lower than $1,500. That's an $800, $500 night hotel shit. Give the actors, have the actors stay in a $1,500 night hotel minimum and a high. Don't go any higher than $4,000. Whereas for me and Visa, you can book a more top-notch hotel room because we're the boss. I'll tell them that. Obviously. And find a buffet for every time we land in the city. Please find a buffet restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That way, everyone's well fed. And there's nothing worse than eating one plate and the actors are still hungry. Yeah, and on their spare time, they go to the store and they buy their own food. Last thing you want to do is have the actors pay for their own food. No, have them give them a buffet. That way, everyone's fed well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't find a hotel, then you're gonna have to order a lot of food, man. Order takeout if you want. Okay, John. If you can't find a good buffet in this city, what we'll do? You can buy a bunch of donuts. Obviously, you can go to you can have breakfast at a restaurant. You can give the actors like a nice 2 plates if you want. Okay, guys, you can order if you're hungry after one plate. You can order another plate if you want. And expenses are paid for if you can't find a buffet. But every major city has buffets, has buffet restaurants. Find a nice buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for me, wife, and the actors. Peter Jackson and assistant director. See what I'm saying here? And don't go any higher than $4,000 rooms. And rent a hotel, don't rent a shitty hotel like a $500 night hotel, $250 night hotel. No, that's shit. That's not bad, but it's shit. Have them stay in a nice $1,500 to $4,000 night hotel. And rent a hotel make sure the hotel has a pool and a gym, obviously. That way you give the actors a good experience. Because the actors are going to want to go to the gym and go swimming sometimes. You see what I'm saying here? I told you, if the actors want to go downstairs and have a beer in the hotel, me and VJ can easily pay for that too, but I'm not going to spoil it completely. You want to have your own beer and buy your own clothes, that is your own money. I'm not paying for it. You guys are already rich. You have millions in your bank, and I pay you your very rich salary, as well as your money for your posters, and your movie and your what. And your commercial ads, you can easily afford to get your own nice clothes. Jon Favreau, Nick Filoni, or Rian Johnson, J. Abrams, they can easily afford to get their nice clothes. You guys are already loaded, and I paid you your unheard amount of money, your millions. That's your money, man. You pay with your own money. If you want to get a beer, go have a beer downstairs, have a drink with the actors in the hotel. That's your own money. You're paying with your own money. You can easily afford it. Obviously, there'll be some times where I'll pay for them. Okay, guys, you want to go to the bar? Let's go have a beer at the bar. It's on me. So pay through the budget. It's on me. Let's get drunk at the bar. All the rounds are on me. You guys, I'll do that. There's a good chance I'll do that a lot of times, obviously. Because me and VJ, we have a huge budget in our business account. But like sometimes, look, man, most of the times, if you want to get your beer, get your clothes for your family, your kids, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you, obviously. Yeah, I understand. Yes, never ever use a business account for your own personal stuff. Otherwise, I'll be very pissed off, and I can fire your ass. And they'll listen to me. Yeah, they'll listen to me, obviously. See what I'm saying? I'm not buying your own clothes, and I'm not paying for your beer if you want to go get a beer downstairs. I'll pay for your beer sometimes, obviously. The rounds will be on me and VJ. But if you want to get your own beer and get your own clothes, that's your own money. Whereas your hotel stay is paid for, obviously, and your feeding is paid for when we land in all these cities, obviously. If we go on that crazy world tour with the actors, behind the scene world tour, right? See what I'm saying here? Yeah. Hence why the two Switzerland was ahead of production, all the actors, Peter Jackson. If we go on that world tour, they're gonna pick their asses off. Alright, man, your company's so much better than Hollywood. I had a fun time, you know what I'm saying? Being a part of your movie, being spoiled, you know what I'm saying? Being part of that crazy worldwide buzz world tour. Guys, for my world tour, you're looking at something much crazier than even all these Hollywood movies, man. You're looking at like venues with like thousands of people, man. 10, 20,000 people, something crazy. Imagine me, Peter Jackson, the assistant director, and all the actors and two script drivers. we're interviewed in this huge venue, but when there's like 10,000, 20,000 people in the venue. Because for Ivan's VJ's fame, you're looking at international fame. Something much crazier than Hollywood. Whereas in Hollywood, they only have like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 people for the interviews. Whereas for my movie, you're looking at like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, 40,000 people, something crazy. High chance churches will want to interview us too. Because Zayas has biblical symbolism, like Taki is fighting the devil. High chance the big churches will even want to interview me and VJ too, and directors and all that. It was something crazy, yeah. Yeah, man. Peter Jackson, the actors are part of that crazy buzz, yeah. And that's why after the World Tour and after that Luxury Hotel party, they're all going to really, really break their ass because they know, even though I'm going to be successful in Hollywood, I'm a side tension. Ivan and VJ are now moving on into their own life. They're going to make that amazing Great Escape movie, that secret agent movie. The actors are like, Ivan, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, can I be in your next movie, man? I want to be in your secret agent movie, you know what I'm saying? There's a high chance I'm going to have talks with the actors. I'm like, yeah, I'm making a secret agent movie after this movie, you know what I'm saying? Ivan, man, can I be in your next movie? I want to be in that kick-ass secret agent movie, man. I can't stand Hollywood. Your company's so much better in Hollywood. If I go back to Hollywood, I'm going to go back to being a dirty slave. You know what I'm saying? Eating that shittier food. Yeah, I'll make more money, but man, I'm going to go back to being a dirty slave. Hollywood's fucking cheap. They're going to fly me commercial. I'm a side tension. No one cares about my movies, I'm saying. They'll know, yeah, even though we're going to be successful, man, like, it'll feel like as if no one gives a shit about our movies, yeah. And even if we go on a tour for our movies, it's nothing compared to the world tour that we went on for Ivan, because Ivan and VJ's fame is worldwide, whereas our fate is side fame, yeah. Hollywood actors do go on world tours, but it's not going to be a world tour like my movies, man. For my movie, you're looking at like all over Canada, all over America, all over Europe. Whereas in Hollywood, they go to a few different places, and that's it. They go on the world tour around the world, obviously. Well, they go on like a few different places. Whereas me, it's like you're looking at like every city, like a bunch of places in Canada, a bunch of places in America, Europe. You're looking at like a 2-3 month tour, man, for my movies, man. Something crazy. Whereas in Hollywood, it's like a couple week tour. Whereas me, it's like a 3-month tour, man. Like something crazy. Obviously. Hence why you fly the actors probably on your jet. As if you fly them commercial and you go on a world tour, the actors you're gonna wear the actors out. They're gonna be tired, waiting in hours and lying every day. It's really annoying. Fly them privately on your jet, on Union VJ's 2 jets. That way they appreciate you more, and you don't wear them out. See what I'm saying here? You don't wear them out, obviously. And if we do get those calls, I'll have my sales look at it. If we get invited to speak around the world, tell the people SkySys can cover the costs for the actors' flights and feeding. And limo services, as I told you, me and VJ are going to have like $25 million left over in our budget. We're going to have a good like $10, $12 million left over in our salary budget around there. And like 20, 25, $50 million left over in our budget for the movie. And so we can easily cover the costs for the actors. It'll cost a good $1 million around there. It depends how long the tour is. If the tour is 3 months, it'll cost a good like $1 million. 500,000, 700,000 to $1 million. Hence why you have to what? Easily affordable if you have like $50 million in your bank, obviously. Easily afford it, obviously. See what I'm saying here? Yeah. Hence why SkySys blows Hollywood. Ivan's company blows Hollywood out of the water. Peter Jackson, after the red carpet, he'll also beg his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Peter Jackson's already successful. It doesn't get any bigger than Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson did Lord of the Rings. He built a $1 billion empire. He's worth like $1 billion+. It doesn't get any bigger than that for Peter Jackson, obviously. But even Peter Jackson will what? Peter Jackson will have a successful directing career after Zayn too. Well, he's already successful, but he's gonna have a more successful directing career after. He's gonna have a successful career, obviously, after Zanus. Even then, he's like, yeah, Ivan, I'd rather work for Ivan, man. Can I direct your next movie, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, Peter, you were good for Zanus, but you're not good. Ivan, please, man, I don't want to go to Hollywood, man. You know, he might even cry. I was like, your company's so much better in Hollywood. I got my freedom. You pay me a lot of money, that more than even what Hollywood pays me. But there's exceptions, obviously, if he gets a piece of the royalties, obviously. You pay me our kind of money. I got my free millions. I got spoiled. I go back to Hollywood. I'm going to go back to eating that shitty food. I'm going to go back to being a dirty slave. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Hollywood's fucking cheap. They're going to fly me commercial. You know what I'm saying? The world tours will feel useless because I'm a side tension. I don't want to work in Hollywood, Ivan. I want to work for you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might even cry. I was like, Ivan, please, man, can you resign me? Because he was safe for almost 5 years, man. 4.5 years. He wants to be saved, obviously. He's used to, in other words, because these actors and directors are used to they've been saved, they were saved for multiple years, they're used to that amazing feeling, obviously. But they know once they go to Hollywood, they're going to lose that feeling, they're going to be left behind. They don't want to have that horrific feeling that you're going to have. They want to be saved. Yeah, man. You're going to see Idris Elba begging, you know what I'm saying? Ivan, can I be in your secret agent movie, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, Idris Elba, you were good for Zane's, but you're not good for the Great Escape movie. Idris Elba is actually good for the Great Escape movie. He's good for those movies. But I told you, I don't want the same actors in my movie, obviously. I'm not going to have the same actors in my movie. You were good for Zane's, but you're not good for the Great... Some of the actors in Zane's are pretty good for the Great Escape movie, but I told you, I don't want the same actors in my movie. I want different actors. You need to give these other actors in Hollywood an opportunity, too. It's not just about you guys. You need to give these actors an opportunity, too. It's not just you guys were the lucky chosen. You were saved for this movie. Now you're going to be left behind. You're going to go back to Hollywood, being part of that Hollywood system, obviously. Don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? You'll make more money, obviously, but you're going to go back to being a dirty slave. You're going to be the side tension. I'm going to hire another actor. Other actors. Yeah. Because guys like John Boyega, Yvonne Georges, Neil Manette, Ariana Grande, Idris Elba, Don Cheadle, Andy Serkis, the actor for Queen Sarah, these ones, see, after they film Zane's, they're all going to have pretty successful, either very successful careers in Hollywood or pretty successful careers in Hollywood. See what I'm saying? They're all going to rise. They're all going to make more money. They're all going to, I don't know, Vaughn Georgia might rise to that $20 million range now. He's a small A-lister now. He's making some good money, a couple $1 million per movie. I told you, because Hollywood's cheap, chances are they're going to pay them, they're not going to pay them as much, obviously. But he can now bargain for probably $2, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, see what I'm saying? Yeah, and the small A's, John Cheadle, you know, all these guys can now bargain for more money, but even then, they're dirty slaves, and they're the side attention, and it'll feel like as if no one cares about their movies. Only 10, 20 million people are tuning into their movies. So they make a nice $40 million budget movie. 10 million people are tuning into the movies. Their movie does, $180 million. Yeah, they're successful, but compared to IMDb's movie, their fame is small. You see what I'm saying? 10 million, 20 million, 30 million people are tuning into the movies. But I guarantee you, I'm making a prediction, I guarantee you, because Zane's is such a unique story, I guarantee you Hollywood's gonna have that Zane's reunion, that ensemble going on, and they're gonna have a bunch of the actors in Zane's in in the same movie to create more buzz. And if they do that, you're looking at like a $600 to $1 billion movie. You're looking at a very successful movie. They're gonna do a nice big $150 million budget movie with those actors, obviously, and guaranteed Hollywood's gonna do that. Guaranteed. Okay, let's have a lot of the same actors who were in Zane's in a movie, obviously. That way we build more buzz. And you're looking at like a $600 million to $1 billion movie. Obviously. But even if the movie does $1 billion, compared to Ivan Vigi's fame, they're still small, obviously. The actors are still going to feel like shit. They're going to go on that world tour. They're making more money. They're successful now. But while the actors are going on the world tour, Ivan and Vigi are starting the process for the greatest. I don't know. The actors are going on the world tour, and you see the what? You see the first trailer drop for the Great Escape movie. You know what I'm saying? Ivan and Vijay and those actors, Keanu Reeves and all of them are experiencing that crazy buzz with the fans, obviously. These actors are all going to have that shit feeling, oh man, it looks like I'm going to miss Sky Source. I remember what it was like being saved for Zanus, being part of that buzz. Even though I'm successful in Hollywood, man, it feels like as if no one gives a shit about my movie, yeah. Even though my movie's successful and did, $700 million, $800 million, $1 billion, Ivan and Vijay's Great Escape movie is going to do a good, $8, $9 billion? Your movie feels small compared to Ivan Vijay's movie, yeah. Obviously. Zanus will do a good, $11 billion. The Great Escape movie will probably do a good $8 billion around there. It's cheaper. The Great Escape movie I'm going to sell for a good, $90 around there. Depends how much, the Great Escape movie I'll sell for $80. $80 or something. My movies will be expensive, guys. It's worth the money. Yeah, your movies are worth the money. Yeah, my movies are worth the money. The reason why I'm pricing for a lot is that way Amazon and Skysource gets, because I'm making my movies for so much money, I want me and Vijay to make a nice profit, because we're pouring a lot of unheard of money into the Great Escape movie, $700 million. Hence, I want to make a nice profit. Hence, Amazon makes a nice profit. You got to price your movie for a lot of money. But for that movie, you're only looking at one disc. Obviously, one Blu-ray disc can cost anywhere from what? From 10. One Blu-ray disc can cost anywhere from $5 to $10. And the case will probably cost us a couple more dollars. And so I'll sell the Great Escape movie for probably, If it costs us like $15, you sell it for a nice like $70. Greatest Escape movie, I'll sell for like $70. I don't want to be too greedy. $70, I'll sell it for around 70, $80. $80 is good. That way, maybe you make more money. Sell it for a good $80. $79.99. Good deal. And that movie will come with 4 posters. It will come with 4 posters, and I'll have it come with coffee mugs too. You can have Great Escape coffee mugs, obviously. So the Last Hope of Zane's coffee mugs will be I'll have them look like the coffee the mugs that Bilbo and all of them were drinking in Lord of the Rings. I'll have the coffee mugs be something like that for Last Hope of Zanus. Whereas for the Great Escape movie, I'll have them be modern coffee mugs, but you have a nice like Great Escape logo or something like that. I'll have all my movies come with mugs and posters. I'll have the Great Escape movie come with 4 posters and like 2 coffee mugs, 3 coffee mugs, 2 coffee mugs. See what I'm saying here? I know it won't be coming in a box set because it's one movie. It'll just be the 4K Blu-ray case, and you have one movie in there. I might have it come in 2 discs if you want. A 4-hour movie, you can have it come in 2. So I'll just have it come in 1 disc. 1 disc, obviously, or 2 discs perhaps. And I'll sell it for a good $80 to $90. Whereas Zanus, I'm selling for like $160 to $200, man, depending on the cost. I'm gonna ask Amazon, hey, look, man, how much will it cost for 6 4K Blu-ray discs? And the 4K Blu-ray case covers, creating the 4K Blu-ray case covers, printing the file onto the 4K Blu-ray case cover paper. How much will that cost? Oh, I don't know. I have no cost. Like, how much will it cost? I'm saying, oh yeah, I have no cost. Like $35. Okay, if it costs us $35, I'll price the series for like $170, $169.99. If it costs us like $60, or something, I'll price it for like $200. See what I'm saying here? I'll ask them ask the CEOs how much will it cost. You ask them, and that way you can price your series accordingly for profitability, obviously. So if it costs us like $35 for the 4K Blu-ray case disc, burning the 4K Blu-ray cases, creating the 4K Blu-ray case cover, the box set, you price your series for nice like $170, which is a good deal. That's affordable for most people in the world, obviously. Price it for $169. If it costs us like $50, $60, price it for $200. That way you make a better profit. $180, $190, $200. That way, there's a small chance I'll price it for $200. That's a bit too pricey. Chances are I'm gonna price Zanus for a good like $170 around there for the box set, which is a good deal. As Ivan and VG movie, you'll be watching every day. Hence, yeah, Ivan, for your movies are worth the money because you and VG are so special, and we'll be watching your movies like every week. Yeah, you're gonna be watching my Zanus movie every week. Until the Organization movie comes out, you guys are going to be watching my doc every week and my movie every week. Until the Organization movie comes out. This has been crazy, yeah. See what I'm saying here? Yeah. Obviously, right? Yeah. And they're unique. I'll probably price it for $50 or something. I don't know, $60, $70, 70. But they're unique will be a bit cheaper. I'll price it for like $65 or something like that. The movie. All my movies. Your movies are expensive. Yeah, my movies will be expensive because the reason why I'm pricing my movies for a lot of money is because me and VJ are pouring unheard amount of money into the movies. Obviously, more money than even Hollywood. Because Hollywood movies on average are only made for $150, $200 million. Whereas my movies on average are $600, $700 million. Hence, we need to make our money back. Plus, Amazon's taking 4% of the pie. Hence, you got the priority. We understand, yes. I'm putting a lot of money into my movies. Hence, why my movies are all going to be expensive. At $70, $80 is a lot of money for a movie. But my movies are worth it because movies are special, obviously. Yo, Ivan, we would gladly pay $70 for your Zanus box set because your movies are you're worth it. Yeah, I'm worth the money. Plus, I poured over $1 billion towards my movie. Hence, I want to make my money back. And that's what you got to price. Amazon told me, Ivan, yeah, make sure you price your series well. That way you make a nice profit. Yeah. Price it. We'll price Zanus. Okay, if it costs us $35 for cost, we'll price Zanus for like $170 for the box set. And the posters will price for like the 6 posters and mugs will price like $130, $120. Obviously, but don't sell the posters with the movies. Otherwise, it'll be more expensive. Sell the posters months, like 5 months before the movie gets released. Obviously, and most people around the world will buy the posters too. as you guys all want to have your nice poster collection and mugs in your what, hanging in your garage, hanging in your room. Yeah, that's gonna be top notch because that's how special movie VG are. So, hence why you give the actors some money for the posters. Considering they're your stars and they're featured on in your posters, pay them some money. Don't be stupid and pay them like $1 million. They're ripping you off. Pay them $1 million. You're being way too. Unless they're big A-list actors, you can pay them that money. And if you're not a big A-list actor, you will not get any more than $2,000. Everyone gets their standard $2,000 for the poster sales, and the big ones you can pay them a nice $1.5 million because they're big actors. But they're not getting any more than that. They want, like, if Keanu Reeves and Scarlett Johansson try and bargain for like $5 million, but look, man, I'm not paying you $5 million. That you're ripping me off. $1.5 million for the poster sales is good enough. As in Hollywood, you don't get a dime for that stuff. In Hollywood, you get your flat salary. Some actors can negotiate for a piece of profits, obviously. In Hollywood, the actors get their flat salary, and that's it, man. Whereas me, I'm paying you $250,000 for all the re-releases, which is nice. As in Hollywood, you don't get any money for that. Only the actors who do television get their $100,000 royalties for the reruns, obviously. But for my movie, I'm giving you $2,000 for the re-releases, and I'm giving you $2,000 for the poster sales, which is nice. As in Hollywood, you don't get a dime for that. And I'm being generous. Yeah, Ivan, you're very generous. Yes, I'm very generous. As $2,000 is how much those Lord of the Rings actors got for a salary. And that's how much I'm paying you for poster sales and a re-release. Hence, I'm giving you a good deal. Obviously. The only reason why I'm paying Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson more money is because those guys are really, really big, man. Peter Jackson's worth $1 billion plus. That's why I'm paying him an amount of money, and I'm paying him his nice $2 million for the release, which is a nice check. And then because Peter Jackson is from New Zealand, $2 million in the Canadian is a good, like, what? Is like $4.5 million in New Zealand money. And Peter Jackson will be making like $4.5 million in his New Zealand money for all the releases. He's getting a nice deal. Because don't forget, Peter Jackson lives in New Zealand, and New Zealand money is not worth as much as Canadian money. He's making like $105 million in his New Zealand money for my movie, obviously, and he's making his like $5.5 million for the re-release in his New Zealand money. So every time when I re-release Zanus, he gets like $5.5 million check, man. $6 million check, whatever it is. $5 million check, $4 million check in his bank. Which is a nice deal. I'm a hell of a man. Every time, if we release a special edition or a new technology of 4K of Blu-ray, you can come and watch post-production if you want. Peter Jackson, you can have him come watch post-production if you want. You can feed him with a buffet if you want. Do the same thing for Mel Gibson. Yeah. I'm going to shut my camera off here.